Hey Angelo, how's it going?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Very, very good. Thanks for being here on this call. I just wanted to have a quick chat with you just to talk to you about your experience with Mighty Transformation. You had a great journey, and you being a father, myself being a father, and entrepreneurs, busy individuals. I think your story will resonate with a lot of people. So I just wanted to have this chat with you to talk about, how you did on the program and perhaps someone else who may be interested, it would be something that would work for them as well. So I just wanted to thank you for being here, and if I can ask you a few questions to get started.
Of course, brother. Let's do it.
So just for those who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what you do?
Yeah. So the name is Angelo De Torres again, and I am the co-owner of Steps Dance Studio, where I instruct and dance professionally. Um, and I am my background is Filipino. I've been living in Canada for quite some time, so I consider myself a Canadian now, obviously. And yeah, and I got a beautiful family. I got two daughters, 10 and 8, and obviously a beautiful wife that I'm sure everyone or some people might know. Kathy and I met in the dance scene. So yeah, that's who I am, man.
Thanks, Ange. And tell us, I guess, before coming onto the program, what were the things that you may have been struggling with, or things that, goals that you were trying to achieve that you weren't able to do on your own? Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a very typical Filipino family. It's large, it's loud, and we have a lot of like gatherings where we enjoy, you know, Filipino food. I'm not trying to be biased here, but Filipino food is probably some of the best food in the world, hands down. So I think that was I won't actually call it a struggle so much, but just a celebration, more so than anything, that we have a lot. And so just kind of being in the surroundings, um, getting to enjoy these amazing food is really what kind of like, uh, I guess, made me struggle with regards to some of the issues because although Filipino food is good, it some of the main issues that we have is, high cholesterol, so high blood pressure, diabetes, gout, all of these things that I'm saying is in my family. I suffer from gout, so this is my main struggle. And I think, obviously, I don't know if it's hereditary or if it's just the food that I intake that caused this to happen to me. But really, that's what I want to kind of just get rid of and kind of just work towards, you know, healing myself, because it's hard, man. And if, for anyone who suffer from gout can understand what I'm talking about because it's not fun. It's it really hurts, it's painful, and it's something that you don't want to kind of constantly go through in life. So that is, I would say, like the main struggle for me. Um, and again, maybe the reason why, I'm constantly looking for ways to, uh, get rid of it and heal myself.
Yeah, yeah. Can you talk us through that pain? Like what was it inhibiting you, or what was, from a day-to-day perspective, how was that affecting you?
Well, as a professional dancer or instructor, I need to be mobile. And when you have gout, man, you can't move. Like I mean, you can walk, but you definitely cannot uh, dance. And it's just the very first time I've ever actually experienced gout. It was probably the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life. I've broken my bone, I've cracked my head open, uh, I've torn my ACL, but having gout is a different level. When you first get it for the very first time, I get it. It normally happens on the big toe, and it swells really, really badly, and there's a buildup of uric acid, and so there's crystals that build in your joints, your big toe joint, and moving it any which way at all is extremely painful.
Right.
And because it swells so much, the skin becomes so sensitive that even if you run silk through it, it would kill you. It would literally be so painful. And I'm just like, oh man, what is this? And the reason why I say it's the most painful too is because, again, I have two daughters, and one of my eldest daughter actually was running, and she actually hit it. Sorry, while running. And yeah, I've never experienced such pain in my. I literally curled into a fetal position and be like, there's so much pain. But yeah, it just really it makes you. I don't want to say disabled, but yeah, man, it's like you can't do nothing. It's horrible, you know.
Yeah. It sounds pretty bad. And I know you talked about your daughters a lot. You just mentioned it. Do you feel like if you were continuing on that path, it would stop you from possibly doing things with them and even looking at the future? I remember you talking about bigger whys and being there long term for the family, walking them down the aisle. Like, can you talk to you? Like, I remember that big why that you were talking to us about.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. As a father, it's simple, man. Our biggest why is our children, you know, and it did hinder everything that I was doing with the girls. I think the girls saw me at my lowest point. Struggling with gout. Not being able to move, not being able to uh, do things with them and play with them and pick them up, drop them off, all the things that I'm doing. It's like, it stops. And then you just like, you feel like you're just missing out. So it really does. It really does affect that. So, you know, uh, that's the reason why. Listen, like, I, I was looking at this. I don't know whether if I was actually watching a video on TikTok or Instagram, but I watched an interview with Jeff Bezos. So I just want to share with this really, really quickly because it really resonated with me, and I think it will resonate with a lot of people as well. Um, in the interview, he says each individual, each person in this world is given a gift. And whether it be like someone who's really, really smart and school comes really easy to them. That's like Jeff Bezos. He was just a smart guy. Whether you're gifted, uh, physically and you could be athletic and become a professional athlete, or you're just drop dead gorgeous. You know what I mean? But he says these are the things that you can't be proud of. You can celebrate them because they're gifts, you know, they're given to you, and you can celebrate them, but you can't be proud of them. You know what I mean? So he says, but you can work hard on your gifts so that you can actually be proud of them. You know what I mean? So that makes perfect sense for me. I'm like, he worked so hard to make Amazon what it is today, and it's
Right.
amazing, you know? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like we could talk about like all the athletes, Michael Jordan, you know what I mean? Wayne Gretzky, all the greats, Tiger Woods, all these guys are amazing. Or the singers like Bruno Mars, Michael Jackson, Beyonce, whoever. But it resonated with me differently because, you know, I want people to understand like the gift in itself is life, bro. You know what I mean? Is life in itself, right? And it's great that we get to celebrate it. Like for me, with my family, when we get together, we have fun, we have laughs, and we eat. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm just trying to work hard towards something that can make me proud, but also my kids proud. Do you know what I mean? Because whether we know it or not, they are learning everything from us, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they are my biggest why.
I
I
love,
want them to be proud of their dad as well.
I love it. Perfectly said. I posted your transformation just the other day, the week 1 versus week 12. And on the top of the post to grab attention was it says, we would all die for our kids, right? No doubt.
Mhm.
We would all do it. Any father would do that. Any
Yeah,
parent. But why can't we live healthy for them, right? Why can't we do that? Dying once is actually easy. It's just a one-time event. We'll sacrifice, we'll do that. But no one wants a dying parent or someone that can't be there. But they would rather, I think, would appreciate it more is us parents living healthy for them, living intentionally and doing the best we can to be strong for ourselves so we could be there for them, right? But the
right.
problem with that is trying to live in a healthier way. There's lots of things that we got to do, right? We got to take care of ourselves in terms of eating better, getting active and exercising. So it's a lot easier to say, but much harder to do. But I think when you go back to your why, and thinking about this, wanting them to be proud of you, building this legacy and
Yeah,
being there for them. It's so important that people understand that. It's the day-to-day stuff that we do. And I'm not saying being perfect. We're not
yeah,
perfect, but with the intention of always trying to be better and being strong and healthy for our kids. I think it's so important. Like I have got a lot of friends who unfortunately haven't really prioritized their health. And what are they doing? They're sitting a lot on the sidelines. They're there, they're physically there, but they're not being present in their kids' lives. And for
right.
me, what I don't want my son to remember, that I was the dad who was on the sidelines and couldn't be there for him, right? I want to be
Yeah.
an active part and doing all the things that will, because at the end of the day, we're all going to die, but we're going to have these memories. And I don't want the memory for them to be, dad couldn't do this, or he was always sick, or he was always immobile. I want him to say, yeah, my dad was there. We played soccer, we did this, we did hiking, like all these memories, because that's all at the end of the day, that legacy that we're going to have to pass on
Mhm.
are those memories. So yeah, I totally get that. And I think that's why also with you, I followed in your footsteps. I became a father, did the entrepreneur thing now. But I really look up to you because of that, right? Like the way you've modeled yourself and always striving to get better. And, thank you for giving me this opportunity to guiding you on this particular part of your own journey.
Yeah, no problem, man. You listen. Yeah. Um, as you know, I've done this in the beginning with you, and I feel like I've seen the birth of Mighty Transformation. And so I've been there from the start, I feel, and you make it to what it is today, man. And I got to give you your props, man. I think you're doing an amazing job, and it's something that definitely something you can be proud of. Because it's look what it is, man. It is what it is today, and you're doing amazing. You're killing it, and I know it was tough in the beginning because there are obviously a lot of fears and a lot of outside noises that come in to kind of distract you. But man, I'm really glad that you did what you did and took a leap of faith and look, man, it's paying off. It looks so respects to you, bro.
Thank you. Thank you for being that inspiration and getting me to take that leap. It's been really a great journey, and you've been part of it since the beginning. So that's awesome. Ange, I just wanted to talk to you about your experience on the program. Talk to us about what you were able to achieve, the results. Can you walk us through your experience and how it has helped you now, based on what we talked about earlier and the improvements that you've made in your life?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I've been in the program before. It's worked with me then, so my experience has always been great, Gil. Um, you know, and whatever you had taught me then, it's obviously stuck with me. Um, I'll say this, it's as human beings, I think like we all know right from wrong. And it's I think what you're doing is in a way you're really showing that there's a way you can have a balance in terms of being able to, you know, celebrate and enjoy life, but at the same time, like, have a good balance of discipline and accountability, and and it doesn't have to be hard. I feel like that's the reason why this has been such a great program, at least for me, because I feel as, in one of the meetings that you've had, I think that was the perfect way to describe it, was the imperfection of the program, in which you allow us to be accountable, but not too restricted. So I feel like that is what we need. Um, when I first did it, I was really, really good at it for quite some time. I think I was younger. I wasn't really experiencing any sort of issues or problems at the time. And so that's why I kind of eased up on it. And I felt like, okay, you know, now that things are a little bit different. And so this is probably what I will um, send out there as a message to anyone who's going to be probably watching this video, is that don't wait until that happens. You know what I mean? Set um, a program or a plan that will continue to sustain, what you've worked so hard for. Um, because it's like waiting, it's like learning the hard way. And I think that that's probably what I did, right? Like, I kind of went off track a little bit, not too much, because obviously I didn't blow up like someone, I kind of kept it together a little bit, but I wasn't in the best shape. um but I feel like that's what happened with me. It's like I waited till something had to happen in order for me to actually get back on track. So, but like now, I knew that when I first did your program, I slept better. I didn't snore. Uh, I felt good, energized. I had energy. I didn't feel sluggish. All of these things. And now I'm back to that. Like, I'm back to it because I'm back into the program,
Right.
right? The thing is, we can all say, we know right from wrong, but the truth of the matter is that we just sometimes need someone that can, make great suggestions and also just hold you accountable, right? Because it's definitely easier said than done. I can say, oh, I could do this, I can do this, but truth is, man, I needed you, man. I need you, you know, and that's why I'm here again today, and feeling great, feeling like I'm young again, bro, because I'm feeling good. I look good, and yeah, like clothes are, fitting better. Like, all of these things matter. Like, these little things where people think it's like, but it actually really does make you feel a way when you see yourself in the mirror and you say, hey, this is something that you work.
I love
You
it.
know,
I love it. And it's there's a lot of people who do the program again. It's so don't feel like oh it's a bad thing. I work with a lot of doctors as well
yeah,
and health professionals, and many of them were a little hesitant or I dare I say embarrassed for doing something like this because they know better, right?
hmm,
They're knowledgeable. They know the repercussions of not taking care of themselves because on a day-to-day basis, they see
right,
these people who are getting sick. But for them, it's the same thing. And what we talked about is, there's information everyone knows what to do. They know right from wrong, as you mentioned. The
right,
problem with this, the good thing about right now in this time, in this day and age, is information is free, it's available, but we don't have an information problem. We have an implementation problem, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
information's there, but why can't we take action? And oftentimes it just needs a bit of oversight, that accountability. And that
Hmm.
I try to be there for you and everyone else as holding you guys accountable, but judgment free, right? I want you guys still to be authentically you, enjoying yourselves, but keeping everything on track to ensure that we move in the right trajectory towards your goals, but allowing yourself to still, right, enjoy the ice cream with your daughters, having fun, but doing it in a balanced way.
Yeah.
Also, with anyone listening, is the way you want to think about it is also just like a car, right? You buy it, it's brand new, it's great, but over time, it's going to need a little bit of maintenance. And then, sometimes you can't do it all yourself, and you just gotta get someone else to look at it, right? And, help you maintain it after. And then sometimes it might just fall off again, and then you just need that extra help or guidance. It's the same type of thing, right? I have my own coaches also for business and other facets of life. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, right? Especially if it's something as important as our why and we can't figure it out ourselves. And what I'm hoping is with you or anyone who goes through our program is not feeling ashamed or embarrassed, right? It's okay to ask for help, but all we got to do is just show up, be accountable, right? Try to implement, not just read or absorb, but actually implement the things that we talk about. And then slowly over time, it starts to become habit and you build that healthy lifestyle so that we can achieve our goals and be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, man. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. And sorry, Caddy's like just calling me. Um, yeah. So what I was going to say is that when you're young, a lot of times, there's not a lot of issues. You don't feel a lot of things. But the truth is like even when you're young and you're in great shape, you feel better. You're more energized and all that. But it's more crucial and more critical as you get older. And yeah, my message is to just make sure that people to start now, really, because I felt great then, and I feel amazing now. So, and that's why I'm going to continue to do this with you.
And that's what I love about it is I think a lot of people have this perception that as you get older, that's just the way it is, and I'm just gonna kind of cruise and let myself go, which is not the case. Yeah, it might be a little bit more challenging now with all our responsibilities and just our normal aging, right? It has that wear and tear on our body. But it doesn't mean you have to stop, right? You can continue to improve and work on yourself and still feel like you did, 10, 20 years ago. And you've achieved that. And I could see it. Everyone's seeing it, people complimenting you, you're feeling it. And it's absolutely been enjoyable to be part of this journey, Ange. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. Yeah, so the experience for me has always been great, and so yeah.
Ange, if I could ask you, because you've worked with a lot of people, a lot of clients, your customers as well, and being dads, right? We talked about not waiting, but in your opinion, who do you think that this program would resonate with, or who would do well on this program, or who do you think who would benefit from this type of approach that we would do on Mighty Transformation?
There's many people like I come across many people, as running the studio. There's so many people that I see walk in, many different walks of life, like you said, doctors, accountants, entrepreneurs, everybody. And I feel like there's so many of them that have come across my way, and they're like, "Hey, man, you're looking real good, you look amazing." And I'm like, "Yeah, And I always say, I have a coach, I have a nutritionist coach that's helping me with uh, with my fitness journey, and they're like, "Oh, that's amazing." I'm like, "Yeah, no. So if you have any interest at all, so I mean, there are many, but I'll say this, man. Like even through my family, my cousin, like even my cousin's boyfriend, these people that have kind of like just seen the progress that I've made within the past 12 weeks. Uh, it's to them, it's like, it's almost like a realization that holy, it doesn't even take that long, and it can happen so quickly, you know. And the one thing that people I think really struggle with is again, like you said, is the implementation. It's just starting now, like just being able to start, right? It's hard for a lot of people. Um, but yeah, I mean, I have my cousin actually who's also interested in speaking with you. Her name is Kelly, and her boyfriend is Louis, and they've asked about you, and so I'm actually gonna give them your number so that they can reach out to you. So um, so look out for that.
Awesome. Yeah, I think what you're saying, and it's hard for a lot of people. It's just having that. A lot of times people think there's a perfect time to start, but in reality, there is no perfect time to start. Well, the most perfect time to start is yesterday, or second best time is now, because you don't have to be great to start, but to be great, you need to start, right? And without
Yeah,
taking that first step, you'll never realize it. But I know there's a lot of hesitation with people because they're not sure what to expect, and that's why I try to interview you and many others who've had success and sharing your experience because I think it's very valuable. And as you
yeah,
mentioned, good things can happen in a short period of time. Now, I'm not advocating or saying that there's shortcuts, right? You still
yeah,
have to put in the work, you still have to show up and do the work, but I can help eliminate a lot of the obstacles so that it makes the journey as easy as possible. And having that high touch point, that high accountability, there's going to be days, as you know, it's not always going to be perfect. There might be days you feel like you slip off, but with having that support, I'm hoping, and the accountability we can keep everyone on track without falling off track too far. And that's
right.
that's what I loved about working with you is you just showed up, did the work, even though there's days where we falter, myself included, right? I did the program with you guys. I'm far from perfect, but just showing that with consistency, implementing the right habits and behaviors, and of course, a positive mindset. Look at you in 12 weeks. It's amazing. And I look forward to seeing what we can accomplish further. Because I know with your work ethic, your attitude, sky's the limit, really.
Yeah, man, I'm so looking forward to that, man. Honestly, it's I know it's the next step, and I know I've kind of set a very aggressive goal, but yeah, I mean, it's something for me to work towards, and like I mentioned earlier, man, it's just we always set an example for our kids, and I've always said to them, just continue to work hard, and that things will pay off, and I just want to be able to show them that kind of work ethic does pay off.
Yep, exactly. And what I've been noticing too, is kids won't always listen to what you say, but they'll do what you do. Like they take notice of the actions that you're doing, not necessarily what you say, but
Mm.
really the actions. Again, it's not the information, but it's the implementation. So
Yeah,
yeah, Ange, awesome job. That's all I really had. I just wanted to say again, thank you for being there since the beginning. Thank you also for being an inspiration to me as an entrepreneur and more importantly, as an awesome father. You're someone I look up to, and for you to give me this opportunity to be your coach, I feel very privileged. And I just want to say thank you again. And I really look forward to continuing this journey with you, man.
of course, man. Thank you so much for obviously the interview and for having me, and listen, man, you are a great example for many, man. You have worked so hard, and you should definitely be proud of yourself, man. Respects to you, bro.
Thank you, brother. We'll catch you soon. All right.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
All right.